Robert, am I interrupting anything important?
Not at all. I'm glad you called. Where are you, at the spa?
Yeah, that's right.
How's it going?
Oh, well, business is good, but nothing terribly exciting is happening. I was just calling to find out what's happening to Blackie.
Well, his appearance in the state Supreme Court should be over just about now.
Do you have any idea of how it's going?
No. But Jake promised to report back to me the minute the session is over. He should turn up here soon.
Oh, you sound so apprehensive.
I am.
There's no chance that Blackie could get off with probation, is there?
Hardly a chance at all. Maybe a light sentence, but at the least I'm hoping that the judge won't remand him to a hardcore facility like Osterwald.
That would be terrible. A boy like Blackie...
I agree. Frankly, that's just the sort of thing that does worry me.
Well, I can understand why. I suppose now it's just a matter of hoping for the best.
Well, in this case, the best would be the Hudson facility, and that's only by comparison to Osterwald.
Will you call me when you've seen Jake?
I will. How'd it go?
All but over.
And?
What the hell do you think you're doing to me?
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what you're doing. You're cutting your own throat.
How am I doing that?
Oh, come on. Don't play dumb with me. You know perfectly well how you're doing it. And I'm here to tell you it won't work.
Okay, so it won't work. So why don't you just calm down and tell me what you're raving about?
I'm not raving. I'm telling you for your own good. It's a tactical disaster to use your mother to try to get what you want.
Oh, so you've seen my mother?
You bet I've seen her. For your information, I've never heard such idiotic, preposterous demands in my entire life.
My mother make demands?
What the hell do you think I'm talking about?
I don't know. Demands for what?
For you, of course. Jimmy Lee, don't you realize you could have gotten your share of my fortune without using your mother?
Really, how?
Well, through those damnable papers you're holding, for one thing.
Oh, those?
Yes, those. And if those weren't enough, you have other resources at your demand.
Can we just backtrack here for a minute? You said that I was going to get part of the fortune. When am I supposed to get that?
When I'm dead, of course. And I assure you, I'm not about to keel over, not now, nor for a long, long time.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. What about these other resources?
But, Jimmy Lee, you're enough of a businessman to make it on your own. Why wouldn't you be? I trained you.
As you keep reminding me.
Yeah, well, don't treat that lightly, young fella. I mean, I take great pride in you.
Oh, I'm very happy to hear that.
I'll even say more.
Great, don't stop now.
Jimmy Lee, I think of you as a chip off the old block.
You being the old block.
Definitely. You are my son. Absolutely.
We've already established that.
Completely.
Yeah. And tell me, if I'm such a chip off the old block, why wasn't I treated like one?
When have I ever treated you any other way?
When? When he signed those damn papers, those papers, the attorney papers, to Allen. As I recall, this chip off the old block was not thought of.
Jimmy Lee, I can explain that completely.
Yeah, well, try.
I was on my deathbed, totally delirious.
Delirious about me, but not about Allen.
I assure you, I was not responsible for my actions at the time.
And you are now?
Well, of course I am now. Haven't I just told you that I take great pride in you?
Yeah. Yeah, you have, and you don't know what it means to me to hear you say that. I'll tell you what, I'd love to stand here and listen to more, but unfortunately, I have to go to work.
Wait just a minute. We haven't finished this discussion yet.
No, we haven't. But there's just so much praise I can take in one day. Excuse me.
Dr. Alan Quartermain, please. I don't care if he's with a patient or 10 dancing girls from Tibet. Put him on. It's his father calling. Alan, this is going to be short and sweet. I'm revoking that power of attorney I gave you as of right now. That's what I said, as of this minute. And don't argue with me. I am perfectly capable of handling my own affairs.
I'm telling you, Robert, I felt absolutely useless.
Blackie knew you were there to help him. I mean, you're his attorney.
Yes, and I tried to help him. I did my level best.
Of course you did.
He was incapable of giving himself the slightest advantage.
Incapable or unwilling?
Both. I tried to stop him. He was determined. No, more than that. He seemed possessed. He said everything possible to put himself in the worst light with the judge.
The judge has set sentencing for tomorrow. That's fast, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Blackie wanted it that way. He asked for it several times. All he wanted was a speedy sentencing. The court merely granted his request.
Look, Jake, I can understand your frustration, but believe me, there's nothing else you could have done.
No. No, nothing. Well, now all we can do is keep our fingers crossed and hope.
About the sentence?
Yeah. The length of it, and especially where they send him. I think of that kid spending time in some hardcore place like Osterwald. I shudder.
Yeah. Been on my mind, too. If it appears that Blackie's going to be confined, and that seems to be the way it's...
Oh, yes, definitely. His attitude in court today eliminated any possibility of probation.
Then as you said, it comes down to hope. Hope that the judge will remand him in one of the minimum security places like Hudson or one of those.
Well, I've been a lawyer long enough to know you can't predict what a judge is going to decide.
I agree, but I've been asking around. This guy seems quite fair.
Oh, yeah, he's very fair. As a matter of fact, the proceedings, he gave Blackie every opportunity of bettering his position. He just wouldn't do it.
Then there's one aspect we can still count on.
What's that?
If the judge is as bright as we think he is, maybe it'll work in Blackie's favor.
How?
Well, obviously, he'll be able to see through Blackie's sense of remorse, strong obligation to guilt that he has, wanting to take full responsibility for Lou's death. Maybe, just maybe, that'll sway him in Blackie's favor.
Yeah, I agree. Matter of fact, I think it's our last hope right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
come in, Biff.
Well, I just got word from the bailiff. Blackie absolutely refused to make a case for himself.
Yeah, he put himself in the worst possible position. I couldn't do anything about it.
I know, the bailiff told me.
So what's the situation here?
Well, the judge has granted Blackie's request to visit the funeral home, right?
Yeah, they set bail at $10,000.
Well, that's low. I mean, that's a good sign.
Well, to a point. The DA objected to the low bail, but the court overruled him. The judge felt sure that Blackie would not leave town and they would come back for sentencing, and that way it was a good sign.
Well, has the bail been posted?
Yeah, Rick's already done it. Contacted a bondsman, put up the bail. He's getting ready now to take Blackie over to the funeral home.
When are the services scheduled?
Later today. It's a private ceremony.
You're going?
Of course.
It's going to be rough on everyone.
Very. Tomorrow's going to be just as bad.
Tomorrow's?
Blackie's funeral. When they hand down that sentence.
The sales records are right up to the moment, Jane, so when you close up, just add whatever last-minute purchases you may handle to it.
No problem, Mrs. Scorpio.
Telephone for Miss Lorena Sharp.
Is there anything else you need to know?
No, I'll be fine.
And you're in tomorrow?
Yes, the early shift.
Okay, see you tomorrow then. Good luck.
Thanks.
Telephone for Miss Lorena Sharp.
Is that the call for Lorena?
Yes.
She's not here. I had lunch with her. She mentioned she was going out on business. I doubt that she'll be back this late.
Well, I tried to tell whoever it was on the phone, whoever it is on the phone, that she is not here, but he is very insistent. Look, I have to take this membership list up to an exercise class, and this man just won't hang up.
Do you want me to take it?
Would you please? Oh, I'm late as it is. Thanks.
Hello? Yes, this is Holly Scorpio. Can I help you? Yes, I realize that, but we've checked and Lorena Sharp is not in the building. No, I'm sorry. I've really no idea. Can I take a message for you? Yes, I will. Okay, I've got that. Yes, I will make sure it gets to her, okay? Bye. Oh, Lorena, there was just a call for you. In fact, I was writing down a note.
Oh, anything important?
Well, the man who was calling thought so. He asked me twice to make sure you got the message.
Oh, who was it?
He just left his first name, Leo. What did he say? Just to tell you that he'd called.
Did he leave a number?
No, just his first name, Leo.
And that's all?
Yes.
Well, Holly, are you sure there was just no message at all?
None, except that he would call back.
When? Did he say?
No, he didn't, Lorena.
Blackie, that's too much for you. No, Doctor, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna pay my respects. Okay, you want me to go with you? No. I'm going by myself. Give him a break. Come on, girl. Give him a break. Wait. Out. Rose. Look, I'm gonna tell you again, so it's absolutely clear. I don't want you fighting my battles with Edward or anybody else. Is that clear?
Jimmy Lee, there's no need for you to take that tone with me.
Yes, there is. I'm absolutely capable of taking care and getting what I want without your help or anybody else's.
I know you're capable, dear. I'm your mother.
Then let me do things my way.
I don't see why you're so angry with me. I only had your best interests at
I'm not angry. Look, I just want you to know that I want you to stay out of it. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to get what I want.
I know you know what you're doing. I just don't understand how you're going about it, that's all.
Look, I've got a plan. Why else do you think I brought you to Port Charles?
I'm part of your plan.
Of course.
Well, then I don't see what harm it was my going to see Edward.
Because you did the one thing I didn't want you to do.
What?
You jumped the gun.
Darling, far be it for me to spoil your fun, but I really think you're imagining things again.
Robert, I know I'm not. And incidentally, what do you mean again?
Oh, come on. The merest hint of a mystery and your little mind shifts into overdrive.
Is that so wrong?
No. One of the things I love about you.
Then you do agree that Lorena's reaction to that telephone message was not usual.
You're absolutely wonderful, you know that? You can have me believing things that I wouldn't think, much less speak.
What does that mean?
It means, my dear, that Lorena's reaction to the phone call was not in the slightest bit unusual.
Well, I was there and you weren't.
The important point.
I saw the look on her face, I'm telling you. As soon as I mentioned the name Leo, she went into a spin.
You mean to say she fainted or just sort of went a little bit catatonic?
Now you're making fun of me.
Out of love, I promise.
She didn't scream, and she didn't go catatonic, but I saw the look on her face. It was not the normal reaction to getting a telephone message.
What was this man's name again?
Leo.
No, his last name.
He didn't give one. I thought that was very strange.
I'm surprised. I mean, the whole thing sounds perfectly simple to me.
What?
Obviously, Leo is a debt collector.
What?
Yes, and he's hot on Lorena's trail for whatever reason. He didn't want to give his last name away. There you go, case solved.
Sometimes you are absolutely impossible.
Well, I mean, don't you think that's a logical solution?
No, I think it's utterly frivolous.
It's meant to be.
May I ask why?
Because, my mushy little Sherlock Holmes, the spa is a frivolous place.
It is not.
It is so. Look, one phone call's got that overactive imagination of yours going crazy, and you ought to be grateful.
Grateful for what?
Well, it's just one great round of fun and games in there. You should lie back and just enjoy it. Now, come on. Come on, open the door.
Lou, I swear I didn't mean to kill you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I killed Blackie. I know for one thing. I want to stay here with her. I want to stay. You're coming home.